What if I told you that the biggest reason you're not wealthy has nothing to do with your job, your income, or even the economy? What if the real problem is sitting right between your ears? Because here's something most financial advice completely ignores. Your brain was never built to make you rich. It was built to keep you alive. And those are two very different things. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're gonna understand exactly why your own mind works against your wallet, and more importantly, what you can actually do to change it. Let's go back, way back, about 200,000 years back to be exact. Your ancestors lived in a world where the biggest threat wasn't a bad investment, it was a lion, or starvation, or being cast out from the tribe and left to survive alone. Every single day was about one thing: don't die today. And your brain evolved to handle that world beautifully. It learned to avoid loss at almost any cost, to seek immediate rewards over distant ones, and to follow whatever the people around you were doing, because fitting in literally meant survival. The problem? That brain is the same one you're walking around with right now. In a world of credit cards, stock markets, mortgage payments, and retirement accounts. And it is completely out of its depth. When your brain sees a sale at the mall, it triggers the same grab it now before it's gone instinct that helped your ancestors stockpile food before winter. When your investment account drops 5% in a bad week, your brain treats it like a physical threat, heart rate up, stress hormones flooding your system, screaming at you to do something, anything, to make the danger stop. Your brain isn't broken, it's just ancient. And that mismatch between an old brain and a modern financial world is quietly costing you more money than you probably realize. Now let's get specific, because this isn't just a history lesson. There are 3 deeply wired psychological traps that knock most people off the path to wealth, and chances are at least one of them is running your financial life right now without you even knowing it. Trap number 1, loss aversion. Studies in behavioral economics have shown something fascinating. Losing money feels roughly twice as painful as gaining the same amount feels good. Lose $100 and you'll feel that sting for hours. Find $100 and the happiness fades by lunch. This matters enormously for building wealth, because almost every good long-term financial decision requires tolerating some short-term discomfort. Investing means watching your balance drop sometimes. Starting a business means risking money before you make any. Staying the course means doing nothing when every instinct tells you to act. And because your brain hates loss more than it loves gain, it keeps steering you toward the safe option, which is often the slow, quiet trap of doing nothing at all. Trap number 2, present bias. Your brain dramatically overvalues what's happening right now compared to what might happen in 10 or 20 years. This is why you know you should be putting money aside for the future. But a new phone or a weekend trip feels so much more real, so much more urgent, so much more worth it today. It's not laziness. It's not a lack of discipline. It's biology. Your brain genuinely processes future rewards differently than present ones, like they're happening to a slightly different, less important version of you. And that psychological distance between today's self and future self is one of the most powerful forces keeping average people from building wealth. Trap number 3, social comparison. Remember how fitting into the tribe once meant survival? That instinct never left. Today it just looks different. It's buying a car you can't really afford because your neighbor got one. It's upgrading your phone every year because everyone else seems to. It's quietly measuring your worth by what you own, what you wear, and where you vacation. The technical term for this is lifestyle inflation. As income goes up, spending rises to match it, sometimes surpasses it, and wealth never actually builds. The painful irony is that the people who look the richest are often the furthest from actual financial security. Real wealth is almost always invisible. Okay, so your brain has been working against you. Now what? Here's the part. Most videos skip, they tell you what's wrong, but leave you stuck there. So let's talk about what actually works. Not in theory, but practically in real life. Step 1. Stop relying on willpower and start building systems. Willpower is a limited resource. It runs out by the end of a long day, a stressful week, or a tempting moment. Wealthy people don't have more willpower than you. They've just built their finances in a way that doesn't require it. Automate your savings so the money moves before you can touch it. Set investments to happen automatically on payday. Make the right choice, the easy choice, so your brain never even gets the chance to talk you out of it. Step 2, make your future self feel real. One of the most effective things you can do is write a letter from your future self. Sounds simple, almost too simple. But when researchers have tested this, people who spent time genuinely imagining their future selves, not as a distant stranger, but as a real, specific person who will live with the consequences of today's decisions, save significantly more money. Make your future self a person you care about, not an abstract concept you'll deal with eventually. Step 3, change your environment, not just your mindset. Unsubscribe from marketing emails. Delete shopping apps from your phone. Stop following social media accounts that make you feel like your life needs upgrading. Your brain responds to its environment constantly and automatically. If your environment is designed to trigger spending, you will spend no matter how much you know better. Redesign the inputs, and you quietly redesign the outputs. Step 4, reframe loss as part of the process. Every investor who has ever built real wealth has watched their portfolio drop. Every business owner who succeeded lost money at some point. The ones who made it didn't feel less fear. They just learned to interpret the discomfort differently. A market dip isn't a disaster. It's the price of admission for long-term growth. Reframe it as a cost of doing business, not a sign you made a mistake. Here's the thing that ties all of this together. Most people treat money like something that happens to them. The economy goes up or down. The job pays what it pays. The bills are what they are. And somewhere in that story, wealth is something other, luckier, smarter people get, not you. But when you understand that your relationship with money is largely a product of psychology patterns your brain learned before you were old enough to question them, something shifts. Because what was learned can be unlearned. What was wired can be rewired. Not overnight, not without effort, but it absolutely can change. The people who build real financial lives aren't playing a different game than you. They're playing the same game with a better understanding of how their own mind works. And now, so are you. If this hit differently than the usual money advice you've heard, that's because it is different. Understanding the psychology is the first step most people skip entirely. Subscribe if you want more of this. Every week we break down the real mindset shifts behind wealth. Not the surface stuff, but the deeper patterns that actually move the needle. And drop a comment. Which of the 3 brain traps do you think affects you the most? Loss aversion, present bias, or social comparison? I genuinely want to know.